Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Broncos going up against the Buccaneers. So with that, let's get right out to the stadium. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis have the call on this Week 4 matchup.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. But good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver. But now
looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, DeMarcus Ware. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, these two, Winston and Evans, formed a pretty good bond in Winston's rookie year. But they're still getting to know each other, and this one's going to wind up intercepted.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The offense on your screen now, and our first look at C.J. Anderson.
And what a look it's going to be, making a name for himself rapidly running the football.
On second down, here's Lynch. Sanders has it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So completion on second down, that brings up 3rd. 3rd and 2, now Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's the offense, and highlighted as a guy who gave himself his own nickname, the Dugginator.
Brandon, you really can't nickname yourself, but if he keeps running at this level, he'll have plenty of good nicknames to choose from.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. Emmanuel Sanders deep for the Broncos. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They run it again with Anderson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
Now it's Lynch. Got a man. He finds Sanders. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. Green with a catch left side. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
On 2nd down, Lynch. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
Let's go now.
2nd down, Winston. That's complete. It's Bell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Jameis now on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
In 2015, we saw the Doug Martin that we saw as a rookie, didn't we?
Absolutely. A 1,400 yards, second only to Adrian Peterson last year.
And he really helped a young quarterback develop by taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Now he feels good coming off that 5-year deal he signed in March.
Feels even better about that.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. A dump off to Anderson. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now it's Lynch. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. Jameis to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. On third down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And Aguayo's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The veteran linebacker, Darryl Smith, there to bring him down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Screen play, Anderson. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And if they want to keep this drive alive, they'll need 8 yards here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Lynch. And this is Latimer, complete. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Jacob Shum now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Let's go now. Let's go.
They start the drive with Martin. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
From the gun, Winston. Going deep for Keyshawn Martin. And incomplete here on 3rd down. He was trying to get it to Doug Martin. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Sanders. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. On 2nd down, Lynch. Green's got it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Demaryius Thomas as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. On 1st and 10, Winston. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Second and 5. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. He's going to take another shot here. And, oh, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the 1st half. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the 1st half of play. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-state to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley, he's got our EA Sports halftime report. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And ready now for 2nd and 9.
Let's go. 3-19.
Again, Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
I know from an offensive perspective, you want every play to be a big play. But sometimes the defense actually wins, and they did there on that draw play. Good job by the runner just taking care of the football because he didn't want to compound a bad play by turning it over.
Let's go.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now Lynch to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Denver. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part went to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They run. Martin, only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Winston. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's brought down after a good gain.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. To throw, Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And Sanders now to return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they want to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Here we go now. Leopard!
10th carry now for Anderson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. And he gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Here's Jacob Shum now. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Back near his own goal line, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
From that spot on the field, the tendency is to play it safe, run the football, make sure you don't have any errors. But sometimes you want to break tendency, and you take a big shot downfield, hoping to catch the defenders a little bit unaware. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get it completed on that play.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Drops it off to Martin. And he'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That's taken on the 25. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They run. Anderson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Jacob Shum now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And tough starting field position here. Out of his end zone, Winston. He gets it to Humphries. And he's going to get this one all the way up past the 20-yard line. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. One receiver to the left is Evans. A 2nd down throw for Winston. And this one is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll throw again. Winston bringing it in. Jackson left side. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Shift together here from the D-line. Back to the ground. This time it's Hillman. And he'll be taken. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because
And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And McManus able to put it through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So out come the Bucs now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened
there. You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. The 13 yards that time and a first.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Jameis now on 1st down. He's got the hook up here to Vincent Jackson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And this is caught by Jackson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Vincent Jackson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. And his kick is good. Down 2 scores, out of timeouts, a must recover if they're going to have any shot. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. 3rd down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Here's Jacob Shum now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Winston to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, Charles, there's an old saying, don't let a loss beat you twice.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon. When you look at it and all of your preparation went into winning this week, now you have to absorb a loss and find a way to shake it off.
So for the Broncos, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll be on the road next.